Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this Wednesday morning. Hopefully all of y'all are batting down the hatches, especially over our eastern viewing area. I know a lot of y'all are sort of staying around the house and taking care of everything, and everybody's calling to check on me. I'm fine. We're fine right here, but thank you so much for folks are good about checking with each other. It's just, I guess, part of our DNA here in the Panhandle, helping each other out and all. I'm proud to be a part of all of that. Appreciate it. I've been on both ends of giving and receiving. So anyway, let's move on with our weather. Brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. You know what the weather is. High's going to be on 87, low, they say about 75. Of course, the big story is storm. Water temperature is still at 90 degrees at the end of the pier. Look at the river readings. They're going to obviously change, but right now, today, they're at 3.6 on the Apalachicola of Bluntstown. And this is brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola, and our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and the hard-working crew. The Choctaw at Caryville on the rise. It's right at 2 foot right now. It's going to keep on going up. You'll see how much rain we'll get over in that drainage of the Choctawhatchee River Basin. And we know we're going to get quite a bit in Apalachicola drainage basin. So we'll just keep our eyes on the river. Also, I hate it. Maybe the clouds may be getting out of here tonight. It's a blue moon. And hopefully it'll clear on out. We just don't know. But chances are it's going to be cloudy all the way through. So tonight is a full moon, the second full moon of August, what we call a blue moon. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good strong tides. We're looking at a high tide this morning at about 10:15 and a low tide at about 8:24 tonight. But I'd recommend not getting on the water today. So the tide chart is not that important. I got a couple of notes I wrote down. Well, it's going to be heavy rain all day. I get all kind of text, emails, and I'm very thankful for that. I try to answer every one of them, but I know at times some of them fall through the crack by no intention of my own. I'm not trying to ignore you. So if you've sent me something and I haven't answered, please resend it and don't have your feelings hurt, because sometimes I go back and forth between my iPad and my phone and back and forth between the messages and then Panhandle Outdoors, I get messages through them, personal messages, and then the email. So it keeps me on my toes, but I certainly appreciate all the feedback, enjoy all the stuff y'all send me, and we're still adding names. We're going to add a name per day. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. A couple of announcements here, all kind of stuff going on. Let's check this out. This is my FWC page, and if you have a school that wants to get just a school fishing club program, the FWC, they're very supportive of it, and it's an educational program, and it's something we've been doing up here a good while, trying to get it going. But this is good. It's not out all year. They just come in and do some things. So check with the FWC on that. That's a win-win for everyone. Terry Jazeski, Terry G, I call him, from down at the creek, works at Blue Water. Now, I want to wish him a very special happy birthday. He sent this to me, and then he sent a copy to George Duran and Bobby Scarborough. Folks, Terry just turned 80. Okay, he fished my creek this morning, kept 5 crappie for dinner, released 5 crappie and one bass. Took about an hour to catch. When I release fish, I always say, this is for my granddaughter. Picture below are what I caught them on a bet spinner. Man, that's an old one. Pearl tail, Procure panfish scent. Can't think of a better way to spend my 80th birthday. Here's the catch right here. He released that many more and released a bass. And here's what he caught them on. That Procure been around a while, and that bet spinner, they have been around a long time. Those little spinners are just fun to fish with. So Terry, happy 80th birthday. You sure don't look that old, and you don't act that old, so I think fishing helps you out. All right, we're glad to have you down here all the way from Chicago, and a former Navy pilot. My buddy Ronald Mathis up there on the hunt lease up there, 231 and 20, talking about bears in the morning. Okay, look, he said they've been busy in the morning. These are good clear pictures. Look at here. Good black and white pictures, and then He posted. I said, well, what they're doing, they're getting ready for school. Mama Bear getting the kids ready for school while school started, but they're active. Buddy Rusty Rooney, one of the conversations started at your next cookout. Arrange the chicken pieces to look like a cat. Now I know we got cat lovers out there. I don't mean to be offensive, but that you can't help but think that's funny. We got some friends come over and said we're going to have some different meal today. This is interesting. Remember a while back we had a GPS that stolen from these boats up here? Folks, there was an organized, down in South Florida, there was an organized group of just crooks, and they caught 10 of them. And here are the culprits here. I don't know their names, don't want to know their names, but what they were doing was down in South Florida, but they were doing it all over the state. The investigation, here are the counties they hit. Bay, see the circle right there? They did hit Bay County. So all these counties right on the water, people that had it stolen, they told me that whoever stole it knew what they were doing. They came in and unhooked everything in probably 5 minutes. They were gone, had masks on, and finally, but they busted that ring. Thank you, law enforcement. Here's a great testimony for Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. I want to read the whole thing. Dorothy, 80 degrees in the house. Michael Harris recommended Drew Pollard, Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. They came out, and within 30 minutes had my AC up and running. My house was built in 1989. So thank you, Michael Harris, for recommending Drew Pollard on Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. We love those testimonies. I know several people lost their air past couple of weeks. We mentioned this, and we just got an update on it, that we just felt like it was a record-breaking year. I know here locally on the loggerhead and the green turtle nest. Folks, in the loggerhead in the state of Florida, they're documenting 127,808 nests. And the green turtle documented 56,151. And it's a record year, according to that's the FWC statistics. So that's good news there. All this gloom and doom about our environment, there are some good things going on. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Okay, well, welcome back. Yesterday we tried to show a little 30-second video. We had some technical difficulties. We got it all straightened out now. So watch this fast. This is a doe protecting her yearling from a coyote attack. This is really fascinating, amazing. They got this view of nature at its finest, just raw nature. So here we go. Let's see if we can get it going. Okay, this coyote on the yearling. Here comes the doe trying to knock the coyote off. This is amazing, folks. Look at this. And the doe keeps boom, boom, trying to run them off. Okay, the yearling gets up. Boom, the mom is still trying to get him with a hoof. See him kick back, see her kick back? Oh, now she hit him in the head right there. He said, let go. All right, so then he come back. So then, so that was it. I don't know really what happened. I think they finally got the coyote away, but is that not some raw footage right there that's just amazing what happens in nature, that most of the time we'll never see something like that. On occasion I run across these little blips, and they just, I enjoy looking at them, so I enjoy sharing them with you because I get comments on them. But that was not local. I'm not sure where that happened, but it's on a little thing I like to watch it. Okay, now, keep this in mind. This storm's going to get through, and it's still, technically should be August, and of course Friday is September 1st, but if you remember, September is always a warm month. We used to be a little cooler in September, so I was thinking about some things to do. We're right on the cusp of getting our things done in the outdoors and going outdoors more. So I made a quick list the other night on what we can do right now as the summer's ending and we're getting ready to go into the fall. This is a good time, especially if you fish a lot this summer, to change your fishing line. Okay, change fishing line. It's a really good time now, and I'm talking to myself a lot. Your game cameras, of course, we talked about them. I know you took the batteries out, but now's the time to put them back together, check them out at the house or whatever. Make sure, I'm gonna have Gail walk in front of it and see if I see anything moving. But make sure they're working and you're getting the signal and all those little things. And it's time to set up those game cameras. This is a good time also to check your rod, wrap rod, the tip on the end of the rod. A lot of times that's coming loose, and sometimes you got a little spur cut on that metal of the eyelet there. I wrote that down to check. Fall fly fishing. Check out your fly collection and it'll sort of reorganize. If you're like me, mine just gets all thrown in there. I organize mine by colors, and then from colors I go from smaller size to larger size, like in one row, the same color. So if you're like me and get them confused some, gotta work on that. Go to Google Earth and just check out some of the sites and see how things are looking on Google Earth. It's really fascinating, but make sure it's updated. I can't get mine updated, but I know it's very beneficial to me. Sharpen your knife. Okay, now they make knife sharpeners in the kitchen. It's pretty strong and all, but I feel the old whetstone our dads used to use one side and the other side. I still do my hunting knives that way, but Gail has one in the kitchen. Sharpen your kitchen knives too. I got that written down. Write down your fall, your outdoor game plan for the fall. Now it's challenging to me because I want to get ready to go hunting, but man, fall fishing is just great. And then you got fall fishing, so wait a minute, you got offshore, inshore, and freshwater. And so I'm looking, October is my really favorite month. We talked about it. Last year, I didn't get to take advantage of September and October. I think you remember, it was Mason's senior year in football, and Gail and I made 9 round trips to Tupelo, Mississippi during September and October. But this year, I'm gonna miss those games, but I'm definitely gonna not miss getting back in the outdoors. So I'm really looking forward to late September, middle September, so 6 weeks through October, 1st of November. So I've got a little game plan going, and it's going to keep this in mind too. It's going to be dictated by the weather, as we know. Obviously, the guides and all not going fishing the next couple of days. So have your plan. Always have a plan B, and then write down. If you get a chance, and especially if some folks coming in from out of town, chart a little inshore trip, or even freshwater, like up at Lake Seminole or something, with a guide. We have excellent guides here. I know almost all of them, and these fellows, they work hard, and they do. And I can promise you, I'll give you a list of them. And if you want to touch base with me, I'll give you a list of them. They're going to give you, you're going to catch some fish. So especially if you don't get to go a lot, got folks coming in this fall, take them on a half day or a day trip inshore. Okay, also I wrote down your tackle box. Always organize your tackle box. That goes without saying. So anyway, I got several more. Sharpen your flounder gig. I then also wrote about read up on research. That's always fascinating to me. The research I wrote down. If it's stormy weather like this is a good day for you to catch up on go to YouTube and catch up on Panhandle Outdoors. And the last one I wrote down, and this is special to me because I did this other day, but he didn't call me back. But I called an old friend, and I hadn't talked to him in a long time. I just want to touch base with him and see how he's doing. So anyway, do all these things. Now, got a couple other things to show you. This is interesting here. We're talking about, I like to talk about history every now and then and tie it in with outdoors. And we're in scallop season. I ran across this the other day from my Historical Society page. This is Chester Adam Welch. He may be kin to me. But this is Buena Vista Point, right down the St. Andrew. What he's doing is picking up scallops between 10th and 11th Street, and Lillian Spinks, I got to interview her before she passed away. Anyway, this is how they scallop back in the day. This is before the big boats and all, and they got out there. Do you see any mask and snorkel? No, you don't. But those kids will get out in the water, and they'd walk around and feel them with their feet, and sometimes reach down in the shallow water with their hand. And notice he put on a little boat behind them. We can't see, we got a little boat behind them. We got a couple of wash tubs in the boats, and that's where they put the scallops. I knew you would, there's a boat right there, they put them behind them. See right there? So that's part of our heritage here in the Florida Panhandle, the early days of scalloping. And that's how it was done. I just thought that was cool. Speaking of history, I was, Greg Cash is opening up down here we are. I'm doing an interview with a local TV station. Okay, behind me is a mural. See that mural back there behind me? And here's a story. Okay, here's part of the mural. Okay, so here's the story. They called me, and Captain Jack C.J. Bryan built that building in like 1923. He built the building. That mural was painted in 1953 by traveling one of the traveling guys that went through. But what it depicted, and they were real excited because it was behind the wall and everything, and they were remodeling it for Greg Cash to open up a little restaurant down there. And when they opened the wall, thank goodness they saw it, and Bob Hurst was next door, and he saw it and he talked them into preserving it instead of painting over it, and they were glad to do it. Greg was just tickled to do it. So they called me down because I know a lot about C.J. Bryan, probably more than anybody, and he was a fascinating character in my book. So I spent about 30 minutes reviewing my notes, but 30-minute drive down there. They interviewed me about 30 minutes, and then a 30-minute drive back home. They didn't show me on the local TV station, but it was fun to go see that. So anyway, just it's only like 70 years old, but you don't find those things much anymore. So I was glad to do it, but that's part of our local history too, and depicted the fishermen and all out there fishing in one part, and some of them pulled in a net. So how important that was back in the 40s and 50s. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at the fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe, Terry G., George Durham Store, and just a lot of good folks working down there. The time today, one time, 11:31 to 1:31. I recommend, especially in the eastern viewing area, I just sort of skip today's outdoor activities. If you remember last month, they have each summer they have the ICAST show down in Orlando, and I was that close to going, some things came up, and I just haven't been able to go the last couple of years, but I have been able to check it out online and see what's going on. Of course, nothing like compares to being there. So I was able to, I always like the best of show category. If you remember in the past, I'd go along and show the best of show. The judges, and when new products come out every year. ICAST stands for International Consortium of Associated Angling Sports, Sports Associated. So anyway, it's the biggest tackle trade show in the world. So here's what they picked out this year. Okay, the best of category winners. They got all kind of categories. Okay, the freshwater rod. I'm gonna go through this fairly fast. St. Croix, Mojo Bass, saltwater rod was a G. Loomis, and that's two big companies. But it's amazing each year the Shimano how they improve on those. And the best rod and reel combo was the Abu Garcia, and the freshwater reel was that Shimano Strata. That I've had that reel there, and it's the next stage up. That is a great reel. All right, the next one they talk about the saltwater reel was a Sea Power. Here's the freshwater soft lure, and that over here, the Berkeley Power Bait. That's a Pure Fishing Company. They own Berkeley. And then the saltwater soft lure was a Z-Man. Check it out on the left there, Mulletron, it's like a mullet. And the freshwater hard lure was a Z-Man right there. Okay, next page, the saltwater hard lure was a mirror lure, the old mirror lure by the L&S Bait Company, one of the oldest companies there is. They're still around. And then the fly fishing rod or the Marksman by Pure Fishing. And check out the reel, the fly fishing reel, what they call it, the color. That's something new now, and I think they look cool. Then some waders and all. I didn't spend much time on the waders, but this was good. The fly line, tippet, and accessories. That little modular tackle box. See how they changed up on that? A little see-through and then different. It's just a little lightweight one you can take. Don't put a lot of stuff in it. If you want to get into fly tying, it's not a bad idea to get into fly tying this summer. Here's the outfit right here, and then the line is a Mastiff fluorocarbon by Shimano, and then the bottom left is Swinging Ned Rig. That's a new shape right there a little bit, but I think it swings. It's sort of loose swivel. And Pontoon Boat Tackle Center, check that out, all the drawers and all. That category is called tackle management, and I thought that's a good category there. Tackle management. I see I had a couple of kids right here, a couple more. I didn't realize we had this many. crazy right there. And then the electronics. I don't know much about the Western Escape Cam. That'd be interesting. I would love to see that documented and show things. The fishing accessories and pliers. Bubba, they've gone from Bubba. Bubba is a company. The Bubba Blade, if you remember Bubba, I've interviewed him before, but now they have a scale. They have handle pliers. They're doing all these little things that fishermen use and nobody really concentrated on. They found a good niche on it, just a good knife, a good scale. Bubba and his company. Okay, so wait, there's another one. Coolers, they did a flop box, soft and hard coolers. That's a new one. Okay, and then the custom tackle. I don't know much about that one. Then a little bit on the clothing. It's just everything's so lightweight now, and the clothing has been really been awesome right there. Cold weather technical repair. So anyway, that's. Oh, there's a couple more. It's all clothing. Whoa, there's still more. Okay, let's see on this one. They even have drinks, wellness, boats and watercraft. So that's all of them there. No, there's one more. But okay, so you see power poles in there. So that's enough. I won't go all of this, but all the categories is a huge tackle show, and I just want to share with you, and maybe next year I'll go and get some video and bring it back. And Gail and I enjoy going, but got wrapped up. I got several more things to go over. I'm not going to get a chance to get to them. Be careful today. Don't take any chances on the roads and everything. And just stay home if all possible. If you go to work, just come straight back home. I know the eastern viewing area, y'all are going to get hit pretty hard. So just be careful out there. And the big thing always concerns me in these big storms is of all things, I'm concerned about trees falling, because that's just something you can't predict, and it's unpredictable because you get a gust of wind. It'll blow, 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 then boom. So be careful out there. Take care of yourself, take care of your family and your friends. Okay, I'll do something good today for someone else. Check on your buddies and see how everybody's doing. So have a great day. Enjoy it outdoors with Dr. Day. God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.